Alright people, so we're back, and now it's time to actually do our coil vessel. So, this is your pinch pot base. This gets put off to the side. So now your piece that you have here, this is going to become your first coil. I actually recommend cutting it in half, just so you have a little bit less to work with, because the first couple of coils can be difficult to work with. Okay, so start to kind of round it off with your fingers, just by kind of pinching a little bit, and then start to roll. So I know, shaking the camera, you're okay. So we're going to go from the middle and work our way out. Notice that I'm using the palm of my hand, not my fingers. When you use your fingers, it gives you like a weird, like, flat shape. You'll see. Alright, so I'm going back and forth. Again, you always start from the middle and work your way out. Okay, start from the middle, work your way out. You want this coil to be as even as possible. Alright, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll roll about 2 of them, and then I'll get started, because I want to actually be able to attach more quickly. So, from the middle, work our way out, from the middle, and work your way out. I'm barely pressing as I do it. Middle, out, and middle, out. Okay, so now comes the part that everybody hates, is the score, wet, and weld part. We have some tools here that have these little bumpy edges. I don't know if you can actually see that really well or not. But you can actually use those to scratch up the surface. And I'm going to do it actually on both of them. And then I need to make sure that I'm scratching up the surface that is going to get attached. So I'm going all the way around this pinch pot to do that. Alright, so now it's ready to get wet. So I actually have a sponge container over here. I can just press it a little bit, just tap. Alright, and then I'm going to wet my coils. I'm only going to wet 1 coil at a time, because otherwise the water evaporates too quickly. Okay, putting that back, and now we're ready. So I'm going to put scored side down to scored side. So I'm going to push down, and as I do it, I'm pressing down. I'm not pinching, I'm just pressing down. So I'm going all the way around the edge. Now, once I get to the point where I'm about to overlap, I need to stop, and I need to score this piece. So I'm going to actually weld this on a little bit with my thumb, and now I need to scratch up this surface, and I'll go a little bit further than I know I need to, and I'll go up, and I will wet. And again, I'm pressing down, I'm not pinching, I'm pushing down. And if you notice that I am using these 2 helper fingers to kind of keep it stable. Now I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to weld it down before I begin the next one. Now, my next coil, take it, wet it, and notice it's just a little bit of water. You're not getting your fingers like soupy and goopy and gross. So, go in here, scoring up that whole surface, and I'm going to overlap where I finished the last one and weld together. Now, I only really need to do this once or twice around before I actually start adding my add-ins. Remember, this needs to be about the height of your hand and the width of your hand. So when I'm happy with the height that I have, I can actually pinch off, weld together, and I'm ready to go. Now, that's the start of my thing. Remember, on the outside, I want to see what you've done, but on the inside, you need to actually weld it all together. So I'm going to take whatever tool, I'm supporting it with my back helper hand, and I'm welding it together. I'm making the inside so it's smooth. So you can pull up, you can press down. Either one is fine. I'm going to rotate it. And I need to do this about every 2 to 3 layers. If you wait longer to do that, then it'll be a lot more difficult. And the reason I have my hand back here is for support. So, outside is bumpy and shows what you did. Inside is smooth and sturdy and welded together. Remember, if you want this to be able to be a drinkable vessel, you need to make sure all of those cracks are 100% filled in. Otherwise, water will find them even if you didn't. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any other questions, let me know. Oh, stop it. And I'm trying to stop.